right, welcome back to Hard Conversations. I am your host, Dr. Michelle J. Clark, and the title of this episode, this is actually one of my favorites, The Person in the Mirror. Why is it so hard to love yourself? Why is it so hard to love yourself? Every day, millions of people wake up, look in the mirror, and immediately begin to criticize themselves. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. My skin isn't clear. My nose is too big. I'm too old. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not successful enough. The mirror has become a courtroom where we put ourselves on trial every single day. Why do we do that? But here today, with hard conversations, I want you to teach yourself to like yourself. But here's the question: who taught you to dislike you? Think about it. Those titles, if you look at my previous episode, we talked about titles. Think about who taught you to dislike self. Were you born believing that you wasn't enough? Or did someone else's words become your interwords? Maybe it was a parent that never affirmed you, that never loved you properly. Maybe it was a classmate that bullied you. Maybe it was a relationship that convinced you that you wasn't lovable, right? Maybe it was social media. That's the biggest one. Social media, where everybody else's life appears to be perfect while you're struggling to appreciate your own. Let that sit. I mean, we use social media, but the truth is, most people don't hate the reflection in the mirror. They don't. You know what they do? They hate the story behind. They hate the story that they attach to the reflection. Again, your value, I'm not going to be able to say this enough, your value has never been determined by your weight. Your beauty has never been determined by your wrinkles. Your worth has never been determined by your salary. And your identity has never been determined by your mistakes. So, we have to understand, you know, some people spend their entire lives changing their hair, changing their clothes, changing their bodies, changing their relationship, chasing validation from strangers. I'm gonna stop right there. You know, we as people are always seeking validation. How many likes, how many checks on Instagram? You know, it's to the point to where people are constantly doing this. They can't even eat on, eat without taking a picture. Is this? I see a lot of guys doing that too. hmm Yeah, and it's like, and it disgusts me. I get my toes done or something like that, and everybody that you look into they all on it. They like this constantly. They don't even look up. Michael Jackson can walk in the door and they won't even know it. I will though. you know, we never address the one relationship that we can never escape. And that relationship is with ourselves. Can't escape it. Think about that. We never address the one relationship that we never can escape because the relationship is ourselves. I know that hit somebody. That hit somebody now. You know, you can leave your job, you can leave a relationship, you can move to another city, but wherever you go, I promise you, wherever you go, if you don't learn to love yourself, no amount of stress, success, excuse me, no amount of success, no amount of money, amount of followers, or compliments will ever be enough. Can't go nowhere. You're gonna that's gonna constantly be a problem. Constant. So here's another hard conversation. Many people are waiting for other people to tell them that they are enough. Why? I just said validation. You know, being healed begins the moment you decide to believe that before anybody else. That's where your healing begins. When you stop trying to seek that validation from others. Self-worth isn't arrogance. Self-worth is not pride. You know, what we have to realize is that it's recognizing that you were created with a purpose, that your imperfections do not cancel your value. Accept and be grateful for who you are. That's what I want y'all to see. Imagine if you spoke to yourself the way you spoke to the people that love you. I'm just saying, imagine every morning you looked into the mirror, instead of finding those flaws, you found gratitude. We don't even do that because you know what we're so busy doing? Social media. And I know this is a form of social media too, but I'm trying to help because we have so many people that don't even love who they see. I ain't got to call names. Y'all know who they are. And some people die from trying to change looks. That's how serious it gets. And then too, you know, understand that people, when they overcompensate certain things, when they over, like some people just overdress. It's about their dressing style because they lack something. They're trying to hide something. I'm helping people in relationships when people are compulsive with certain things because they're lacking something. They want to take the attention because if they wear all the name brand clothes and appear to have all these things because you ain't asking no questions, you just gonna let it go. They're trying to hide something. They're trying to hide something. So I would say gratitude, is very important, right? Show gratitude that you're still here. Show gratitude that you survived whatever storm that you went through. Gratitude that you're still growing. Gratitude because healing doesn't begin when you become someone else, right? Healing begins when you stop believing you have to. Today's hard conversation isn't about changing the person in the mirror. It's about changing the conversation that you have with the person in the mirror. A lot of times, because a lot of times we put ourselves down, but once we learn our value, you're going to stop settling for those guys. You're going to stop settling for these folks. You're going to stop settling for the liars. You're going to stop chasing people who don't appreciate you. You're going to stop apologizing for taking up space. You're going to stop and finally begin living as the person you were always created to be. And again, listen, these are hard conversations. A lot of these people be those titles we talked about. I don't recall anybody that was able to choose their parents, their aunts, their uncles. You just get who you get. So today, I want you to leave with one question. When you look into the mirror, do you see yourself through your own eyes or through the opinions of everyone else who ever hurt you? Let me say that one more time. When you look into the mirror, do you see yourself through your own eyes or through the opinions of everyone who ever hurt you? So that's what you have to know, understand that once you start loving yourself and being grateful for that and how he created you, stop seeking this validation. If somebody don't like you, they gonna like you. If somebody don't like you, they just ain't gonna like you. It's real simple. And that's what we need to understand. Be grateful. Most people get up, time they get up in the morning, they on their phone. You ain't sat there and said not one prayer. You ain't even looked up in the sky and said, wow, the sky is so pretty. I'm just saying, learn to love who you are. Learn to love your flaws. Learn to love your hips and curves. Shouldn't have to go out and be doing all of that. Learn to love you. Once you learn you, people will see that. It's almost like your aura. People can tell. People can tell. You can see it if you're capable of seeing it. All right. So as I say on every episode, as we leave here, I want you guys to know that and remember, like, subscribe, and if anybody else that you know could learn from this video, please share it with them. You know, just remember that again, you could be helping someone. This could be a hard conversation. You don't know how to really say it, but tell them to watch me. I tell it to them. And just remember, you know, I want to hear from you. What's one conversation that you've been avoiding that you feel you need to have? I'm gonna say that every time. I'm gonna say that every time. Think about that. Share it with me. But before we meet again, ask that question, ask that hard conversation. And until next time, you guys have a great night. And until next time.